I hope Lucy Connolly sues Femi Olawale's ass into oblivion.
It's not often that the far right makes me literally giddy with joy, but today is one of those days, because after Lucy Connolly, the woman who tweeted that people should go and burn down hotels full of asylum seekers, was released from jail, she just got interviewed by Dan Wootton, the former main host of GB News. And Dan Wootton has put out a couple of videos about that interview with Lucy Connolly, and my name keeps coming up. In fact, the clip that I just played you is from a video that's 33 minutes long, and yet only about 30 seconds of it actually talks about me, and yet this is the thumbnail. He used my face and the notion of Lucy Connolly suing me as the hook to get people to watch his video. He's literally using me for clout. And both in that video and in the interview with Lucy Connolly, he refers to me as this.
With anti-Brexit virgin Femi Olawale.
The first is this guy, I describe him as the anti-Brexit virgin.
Now, while of course I find it interesting that so many right-wingers are desperately invested in my sex life, personally, I would rather be known as a virgin than as somebody who has multiple allegations of sexual misconduct against them. But here's what happened when he read out my tweet about Lucy Connolly to Lucy Connolly's face.
Femi Olawale.
Oh, Femi, yeah.
And I mean, personally, I've been saying, I think you need to sue this guy's ass, because I'm going to tell you what he said, Lucy. Personally, I believe this crosses a line, but I'll leave it to you. He has written about you, today the UK right wing welcomes home a terrorist with open arms. Tomorrow they'll claim to care about national security to justify targeting black and brown people. Lucy Connolly was one of the instigators of the most widespread terror crises in years, right-wing terrorism.
You know what? I'm glad he read out my full quote, because they can't argue against that. She did call for people to burn down hotels full of asylum seekers, and then people did actually try and do that, and that was probably the most terrifying moment of the entire riots that happened last year. So for right-wingers in the UK to be cuddling up to her means that when they go after black and brown people, it's not because they care about national security, because she fundamentally undermined it. But here's her reaction.
Your response.
Where does it say anything about black or brown people? In my tweet, where does it say anything about black or brown people on the boards of the mums and the grandmas outside hotels saying they want these people moved on? I'd like someone to point that out to me, because I'm yet to see that. People bring this race into everything. It's not about race.
Motherfucker, your tweet said, if that makes me racist, so be it. You then pled guilty to inciting racial hatred. It's not us that brought race into it. You did, Lucy. So, a couple of things. One, you're not denying me accusing you of advocating for terrorism, which is why I called you a terrorist. And two, you can't deny that race was part of it when you literally admitted to a judge that race was part of it. But here's the crux of it.
Will you consider legal action against Femi Olawale for describing you as a
Part
terrorist?
of me thinks I've no interest in what that idiot that I blocked about 5 years ago has said about me.
Not to be that guy, but
I don't even know who you are.
I didn't know you existed 5 years ago. The only reason anybody knows about you is because you advocated for terrorism.
Our views don't align. He's a race baiter.
Again, calling me a race baiter when you tweeted, if that makes me a racist, so be it, and then pled guilty to inciting racial hatred. Literally, you pled guilty in a court of law to being a race baiter.
He's an attention seeker.
My friend, you've been out of jail less than 24 hours and you're already on a podcast. You don't get to call anybody else an attention seeker.
He doesn't know me. He can say what he likes about me. I suppose I could. I suppose I would have a case that bit to know.
Sorry, you think you could win against me in a court of law on what grounds? Because I called you a terrorist and then used the dictionary definition of that word to explain why you meet that definition. You advocated for people to go and burn down government-run buildings full of people for political reasons. That's like the textbook definition of terrorism. And there are three defenses to being sued for libel. One is the truth, one is public interest, and one is honest opinion. In terms of the defense of honest opinion, I do honestly believe that Lucy Connolly is a terrorist. In terms of public interest, I do believe it's in the public interest to recognize that the riots that happened last year were terrorism so that we can actually start taking them seriously. And in terms of the defense of the truth, like I said, she meets the dictionary definition of terrorist. And you would also have to prove that I meaningfully damaged your reputation in a way that cost you money or opportunities. But you pled guilty to inciting racial hatred and it is all over the news. How much more damage could I possibly do?
You know what? I've just spent a year away from my family. The last thing I'm going to do is take any notice
You
of
need
a
to
plonker
focus on
like
what's
him.
important
Yeah.
now.
So let me get this straight. After all that, Dan Wooten saying that she should sue me into oblivion, her saying that if she did sue me, she would win, Dan Wooten putting out a whole video where the thumbnail is she's going to sue him. She's not going to sue me? Are you not embarrassed? Are you not fundamentally humiliated by what you've just done? Like, Dan, you call me a virgin because you want to question my manhood, but this is the most impotent shit I've seen in a very long time. And let's be clear, the reason that none of these people want to actually sue me for calling them terrorists or terrorist sympathizers, the reason Nigel Farage won't sue me, the reason Lucy Connolly won't sue me, Richard Tice won't sue me, Rupert Lowe won't sue me, is because if they did try and sue me, I would win. And then the headlines would read, Femi accuses the Reform Party of supporting terrorists and wins in court. And then it would be over for all of them. Like I said, I am giddy with joy.